I'm not hiding anything, and nor was I back then, and that's what was so kind of like despicable and illegal about the entire situation is like they lorded that equipment over me for so long, and then, you know, to be honest, it's just psychotic as fuck to what they did. They let a group of people sit around streaming that shit, and the thing was, I didn't know if the state authorities knew what they were doing, because the way that my coworkers worked for a long time, I don't like to talk about past business, right? But we really, I'm not kidding. I cannot emphasize enough how educated I am about tech and computer science. Like, when I was at this company, their entire operation in remote development really relied upon me in some ways. They needed somebody that was like a really hard worker that, you know, the hardware stuff is basically like nothing for me. And then the software stuff is, well, it's kind of like nothing as well. It just, you know, I just have to learn things that I didn't know yet. And that's the thing, I learned so quickly. And they were all complimenting, and like really every single person's like, wow, you learned that so fast. The other guy that started here, it took him 8 months before he was even doing that. You're doing that on your second week here. Like I'm not kidding. Like time and time again, I'm getting the most, like, I'm definitely self-aware enough. I'm constantly like, y'all. Like, that used to bother me when I'm not saying it should have bothered me, but when I first, you know, would visit Texas, and, you know, because we had some family that lived out in Texas. Part of the reason that, you know, we ended up there. We were visiting, you know, before that, like, for vacations, and I always had such an amazing time. It's like part of what's so, you know, kind of bitter about the way I've been treated. Like, I've always loved Texas, and they just like turned on me and treated me like I'm this fucking schizo alien evil piece of shit. And a lot of it has to do with like culture war bullshit, because they found this name. Yeah, you mentioned outside. Do you mind me asking, like, North Austin or South Austin? I think you said outside of Austin. I'm sorry, I do also have a bit of a stutter. That stutter only developed after that car accident. I'm not really embarrassed about it. I let people know when it happens sometimes, because, you know, it's a good thing to know that I do have a stutter a little bit. Hour away. Oh yeah, I know about Killeen. Yeah. And that is also kind of a part of the story. Really, like, it's a long story, but are you military, or your family military? Gotcha. Yeah, so I'm fully in support. To be honest with you, I've always wanted to go into the Army, and even throughout this, I've been, you know, I went to a recruiter in Austin. One of them was super chill towards me. The other one was kind of the total opposite, and that's part of the whole aspect of this is really difficult. Like, basically, I told the first recruiter, I was like, look, here's the situation. You know, I didn't tell him all this, right? Nobody had this context. My great grandfather on my mom's side was Army, and he was a turret gunner in World War II. My grandfather was Army, and following that, he sold insurance. And then you know, I've got other family that's Army, right? You know, and really, you know, he's technically not a blood relative, but, you know, it's only because of this situation I haven't been talking to him. But you need to, just like, I'm that kind of person. They don't commit it over again a lot. Myself and it's because it's not really. It's like part of the reason that I'm like, I really love this state, and I haven't been talking to him more. You know, I've got other family that's Army, right? You know, and really, you know, he's technically not a blood relative, but, you know, it's only because of this situation I haven't been talking to him more. You know, I always considered him a brother. You know, as soon as we met in Texas, he was like part of the reason that I'm like, I really love this state, and I love this culture. And to be honest with you, it's one of the most difficult things, because it's not really, how do I put this best? It's like, it's a combination of social and political aspects that have created this chasm between myself and anyone in my family. And that's what I've been trying to bring everyone's attention to, is like, I love my family so much, but they've chosen their politics for like over and over and over again. A lot of them. I'm not saying that cousin necessarily. I'm not even naming names. That's what's difficult, is that the whole time I'm kind of like, yo, you need to understand, like, perjury is actually being committed, right? part of what happened is that there were real crimes committed to frame me in real life. And I'll be honest, it was the most cliche hacker shit, if I need to say it that way. Real criminal hackers of a caliber that a lot of people are just not familiar with in this day and age. Like in software, for example, if I was in Silicon Valley and this shit went down, the state of California would have been like, oh no, okay, that's like, yeah, that's some hacker shit, like, you know, tech company, you know, grievances, like he communicates.
That's honestly so true, yo. That's what some of you don't understand. None of this had to go the way that it went. A single fucking adult conversation, and none of you is really, it's just like, I love Texas, y'all, so why? Why do you want to be so fucking terrible? Like, I'm one of your own, whether or not you want to behave that way. I've spent over half my life there. And no, never for a moment did I have to tolerate you people victimizing innocent people because of how much you fucking hate me.
The internet in some ways is part of the reason I'm so educated my whole life. You know, a lot of positive influences. Martin Luther King, JFK, even the sentiment of Walt Disney is like never stop, you know, using your creativity and your imagination. And that's part of what sucks is there's so much, you know, polarization in our politics from the beginning of me forming a political perspective. It's always been an aspect. It's like looking out in 2012, like, wow, there's a polarization in our politics from the beginning of me forming a political perspective. It's like dividing all of us, you know, the intent of this propaganda. It's not really just a quote, you know, what people would accuse is like, hey, you think they're just being brainwashed by the nation. That's how easily they write it off. And they don't realize that most of the propaganda is not really intended just to brainwash, it's to polarize. You think they're just being brainwashed by the nation. That's how easily they write it off. They don't realize that most of the propaganda is not really intended just to brainwash. You know, I would encourage people to watch the documentary Give Me Roger Stone, because there's a lot of documentaries involved in this. In some ways, they can use as like a piece of reference. Roger Stone, I've said, I'm no, I don't really like politics. Like a Canadian coworker to me one time was like, hey, my name is Caleb. He was like, hey, Caleb, like you could be the president. I was like, to be honest with you, sir, I don't want to be the president. The target that puts on your back is like relentless. You know, the way that our politics are, it's like you don't even have, you know, a breath to take without somebody, you know, just throwing shit at you. You know, like you can't. Our politics really, they're so vitriolic at times, and straight up, I guess part of what I'm explaining is that there's an arrogance, even in my opinion, projected arrogance. Quite frankly, I'm one of the people that's like, well, everybody tells a kid like if you want to, and you mind you be the president someday, right? Like that's like almost even a cliche. Well, you know, I'm just the kind of person that I don't really seek money, I don't seek power, and I don't seek influence, and that's a huge part of my worldview, my philosophy. To be honest with you, I have career aspirations, don't get me wrong, but they're not driven by money. And that's kind of the whole point of everything that I've worked on in my life. It's like I've never been frustrated. I really was illegally underpaid for the work that I was producing in Austin, and I wasn't even mad about that. You know, they're giving me Employee of the Month award after award after award, all of these emails and resounding feedback. It's like, wow, you saved the day again, you saved the day. It's like, okay, like I appreciate that, but you know, we're understaffed, and to be honest with you, like nobody should have me having to save the day. Like I need you to realize in the big picture, like the fact that someone like me has a million and one responsibilities that I just continue absorbing, like I'm, some magician with technology around here. You know, I really was for this one dude. I was just like this super techno autistic G. You know, he's just like, hey, I need you to go here do this. It's like, sir, that's gonna take 2 days of research, and then I'll present to you some solutions. Like, okay, sounds good. It's like, okay, I got a million and one other things to do. All right, you know, but that's what I really need to emphasize. While I am really passionate in technology, it's kind of like a passionate life, it really has been in terms of, just always wanting to understand how computers work from the ground up, right? That's kind of where things like this actually come from. You know, it's not that it's so, world changing, but what I'm saying is it's all kind of about implementation in a lot of cases. And, it's one of the reasons that one of my career aspirations was. I'm not sponsored in any way, and I'm not even like disappointed if it never happens or if it never would happen. Like I always sort of was like, man, my philosophy, my worldview, and Steve Jobs is always a huge influence for me and my technological sort of pursuits and career. And part of the reason for that as well, I was also a fan of Steve Wozniak. You know, I'm one of the people that like point out, you know, I'd rather learn how to be both and look up to both than I would, just be a Steve Jobs or just be a Steve Wozniak. So part of what I saw is that, you know, people give Steve Jobs crap because he wasn't really an engineer himself. You know what I mean? And Apple couldn't have started without Steve Wozniak. It's the honest to God truth, you know, both Steves. It's so weird that they have the same name. Both Steves, you know, they're fundamental, and it's actually one of those things where as much as we hear even just the brand name Apple, it's such a big company now. They're obviously, you know, this behemoth of a company. It's actually one of those things where as much as we hear even just the brand name individuals and single companies can actually change the entire world and the entire landscape of tech. And I've done many a recording on the topic, but I haven't actually changed the entire. And that's one of the things about me is that I'm not a perfectionist, but I'm very chosen with my words, and I don't normally like to work this way. I'm just streaming everything that I'm doing, if that makes sense. And so in this context, you know, I guess part of what's weird, right? I'm using two iPhones. Well, I'm not some Apple fanboy. Part of the context about iPhones is just I'm really genuinely a computer scientist, like definitely going to have a PhD in computer science someday. It's not some grandiose thing, right? How weird of me to say, you know, computer scientist, like definitely. That's kind of what I mean. It's like I love education. I love learning, right? You know, Steve Jobs, for example, he would have wanted classes, like, you know, he would actually, and I'm not even sure if he signed up for all of them, like, to my knowledge, he might have just, like, gone to some classes because he was able to go up there and, like, you know, blend in for a moment, but part of what I'm saying is that, you know, I think that he was such an intelligent man in a way that people still to this day argue about what was really valuable about Steve Jobs, you know, and to be honest with you, I think it's something that we could argue about all day long and not necessarily come to a single answer. And that's where it's like, okay, another influence for me, as soon as I learned about it, man, you know, Alan Turing is a really good McGee about, you know, his story to some extent about the innovation game. He was a computer scientist right through, but he was also kind of a logician, you know, like first and foremost, and that, for me, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I really love philosophy, you know, particularly, and people give philosophy so much shit these days, it kind of bothers me, right? Because people act like philosophy and Christianity are like, you know, some kind of battle between one another, but it's like, wait a minute, you know, anybody that really studies in secondary philosophy or Christianity are into, you know, some kind of battle between I appreciate it, man. Okay, I will be honest with you. The shower stream is not intended to be, what I called it what it is, right, is a non-sexual, but that's, I'm actually not joking, you know, this is, okay, one of the things of Voyager, I think I've got the notes up on Voyager 0 there, so in the top left, right, if you see on there it says, if your greatest weakness, your greatest strength, well, it says name Voyager, Voyager, it had nothing to do with Apple, let me emphasize that, not trying to, not trying to be mean, but I'm emphasizing, nothing to do with Apple, the two eyes really did represent my two main passions in life, technology and psychology. Well, if you think about it, this is how my brain works. It's like, if those are my two passions in life, then that should go a long way to informing people why things like propaganda, misinformation, and politics. It's like, I don't really particularly like politics, if I'm being honest, but it's mostly because of the vitriol and the bitterness that is, you know, just continually, like, slung into politics. And to be honest with you, that's what I'm saying. I think, you know, I could see more interest in politics if it were not what I was just explaining, that these days, you know, if you're in politics, it just, again, not that it didn't in the past, right? I'm referencing people like John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King, both of whom, unfortunately, you know, bless their souls, were assassinated. But when it comes down to it, it's like, you know, I honestly, I think that, you know, the truth is, those two main interests in life actually, you know, sort of should help people understand that, you know, propaganda in this day and age with social media, where there's so much argument about how, you know, what it even is, actually. There's so much disagreement about Russia. What is collusion, right? Even that question. And so to emphasize about that, the shower thing.
There's so much disagreement about Russia. What is
I don't have a huge penis. Let me emphasize that. I don't really want to talk about it in a way. I'm not trying to be misleading. I didn't put a sock in there or anything like that. I don't have a huge dick. I don't have a tiny dick. I'm a grower, not a shower. That's what I will say. I have very average-sized penis. That's what's weird to me. These people are filming me naked with reckless abandon, and then they talk shit about my dick.
All right, y'all the ones that talked about my dick before I did, so I'm not. You asked for it, but there you go. That's pretty much the best way to say it. It's very, very fucking average for every proportion of my body, to be honest with you. It's really not something I've ever been insecure about in reality. Like, all this shit talking to the world, y'all cannot change that.
For example, vasoconstricted. Yeah, I guess it's not huge though. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how it appears there. I guess in this day and age, that's part of what I'll emphasize, right?
Yeah, I guess it's not huge though.
I wish that, for example, I don't really watch a lot of porn, but that's been
in this day and age,
part of the contention here as well. I really do mean it. They've accused me of every fucking thing under the sun, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that perjury was freely allowed in the beginning, right? So they're trying to treat me like I'm a sex addict. Well, like, I'll be honest, my partner knew better than anyone. I've really, and it's a complicated situation. It was kind of a bad, it was a little bit of an unhealthy relationship at times, if I'm really honest. Because she actually really was obsessive and insecure for the first 4 years of our relationship. I'm not trying to be mean or talk down
she actually
a past relationship, but she was really deeply insecure for the 4 years. The first time we broke up, the conversation, I didn't want to talk about it. Honestly, I did it on the stream recently. She just was like, "Are you gonna marry me?" And I was like, "Well, I'm just not sure if I can answer you." That was all. Right? It's like, I'm not saying no, I'm not saying yes. I just don't know.
Look, I want to emphasize, since I didn't get there to talking about this yet, y'all. Look, the thing that I was about to say about make love not porn and just porn in general, in this context especially, it's been brought to my attention. Many of you are suffering from this, yo, and I've always noticed this. This is a problem, honestly. Like, I'm not trying to talk down on porn companies necessarily. Well, wait, how dare you say that? Well, I kind of am in some. All right, we got to get over the entire, every single porn video is all about, yeah, give me your giant fucking dick. Yeah, give me your dick is so big. Like for real, y'all. Why does it even, for real? I think that some of you don't realize you watch a lot of porn, and you're watching porn where, you're more obsessive about penis size than I will ever be. And, you projected that shit on me so much now that you'll have me talking about it, y'all. You're fucking obsessive about that shit, straight up. You care 100% more about my penis than I give a single fuck about, for real, whether it's my penis, your penis, I don't care at all. You're clearly fucking obsessive about penises, yo. And that's the thing, that tells me you watch too much porn, and you watch too much porn that's, unhealthy, giant fucking dick, 12-inch dick fucking porn, that's what you want. You're like, oh, I could never satisfy a female if I don't have a fucking giant 12-inch penis,
That was all that had happened. We made out, not even super sexual making out. And I'm not even saying we should have. What I'm saying is I was just bizarre confused about that. And so let me emphasize with for example, I think that we get so tribal about insecurity in some ways. For example, I'll speak to the psychology. I do wish there is a porn producer out there. It's called Make Love Not Porn, right? And I think we need more of that kind of stuff. What I mean is that people that are openly, because there's so much.
Some of y'all are like, how dare you talk about pornography openly when you're having people like Chuck come up to me talking about fucking porn. Yo, that dude's a fucking bigot. Straight up fucking bigot. You're gonna hear about it for the rest of your goddamn lives, you fucking psychopaths, yo.
was scared. And honestly, look how honest I'll be about that kind of stuff in this context, right? It's like, we're not being sneaky, you know, it's like, we're not gonna sit in our parents' house and make out, like, you know, it's so weird, you know, it's something that, like, quote, adults around us have just not acted like adults at all. But the reason that she really wanted to marry me, if I'm being honest, like, I am a good person, don't get me wrong, you know, like, I'm a good person to be, you know,
But the reason that she really wanted to
even among all this bullshit, quite frankly. But she told me, she was like, I've suffered from this deep dark depression since, well, middle school, and my family doesn't know, and I'm happy now.
But she told me, she was like, I've suffered from this deep,
you know, the difficult thing is, I'm like, the nuance of that, you know, being so educated about psychology, I swear to God, the very first thing in my mind is just like, I cannot respond to this, like, oh, that's awesome, yeah, I'm so glad that I cured my depression, because there's no person that can cure depression, right? That's what I'm saying, it's like, I didn't cure depression, you know, I appreciated the sentiment I told you, right? I wasn't cold in my response, I'm a human being, and I'm not saying, you know, calculated, like, I'm a human being, right? So I'm kind of like, well, I really do appreciate that, I appreciate it if you didn't tell your family, because they should know, and I'm trying to appreciate if you know, we're willing to get therapy and counseling, and I really should.
I did say that. Exactly what I said.
We're willing to talk about kind of phase of a relationship. That's kind of what it was for us. It's like kind of in the honeymoon. And I did, I'll be honest, like, I'm still figuring out, you know, I thought that I loved her at the time, is what it's complicated, you know, and I did, honestly, definitely, we really did love one another for a long time. It's amazing. I thought that I loved her at the time, is what it's complicated, you know, and I did, got so well, quite frankly, they shouldn't have, but, you know, I'll be honest, that was what's complicated, we just, then things got so short, you know, I didn't cheat on her, but we broke up, we had been, like, on and off so much that, well, some of the arguments, they weren't abusive, and really, even at the time, they don't actually, let me point out the one thing that was actually abusive, is that she was so insecure, she was telling me, for example, she didn't want me to work out, I'm not kidding, she didn't want me to go run at the soccer field, she didn't want me to lift weights, and this is what she was saying, she was like, if you're gonna get more fit, and then everybody's gonna say, like, she was actually confessing this to me at the time, she's like, everybody's gonna say that you're gonna get more good match because, like, you're so fit, and like she's actually confessing and I was like, I'm not trying to say that, I'm not trying to say muscles, I was training for college soccer, let me emphasize, I even, when I started training, you know, my brother, who I'm not trying to know fitness after he stopped playing college soccer, which is kind of, you know, understandable, right, he stopped focusing on trying to play soccer, he started focusing, like, okay, I'll take that time and put towards weightlifting, right, and so he was part of the reason, I'll be honest, it wasn't really manipulative, and that's the kind of thing I'm not the kind of person to, I don't need to go too far about that, you know what I mean? I'll be honest, I don't, you know, even if, you know, that's the kind of thing I do, like, yeah, I'm not the kind of person to, and that's the thing, everybody's a human being, you know, like, later in the relationship, it's kind of what happened, right, so we're really open, the first time that we break up, you know, that's the thing, everybody's a human being, and it was, you know, later in the relationship, it's kind of what happened, and, so we're really honest with the first time, that's where we had this conversation, like I said, we didn't talk about marriage. And that's actually how we broke up in that conversation, because I was like, well, I just can't say yeah, I'm not saying no, but I can't say yes. She was like, okay, then we should break up. And I was like, well, and that's actually how we broke up. And she was so mad. She was so mad. Like, I'll be honest, in retrospect, she was kind of like, well, straight up almost psychotic and how angry she was. And I didn't really ever want to say it. Like, I'll be honest, in retrospect, that's what was so complicated, is because I went through school and I made friends, and some of them really good friends, that's what sucks. I made some friends that were, you know, platonic female friends. I made some friends that were platonic female friends. I made friends and some of them were platonic friends, that's what sucks. You know, I made some friends that were, you know what I mean, like platonic female friends. Being intimate occasionally, right? It wasn't like, but in a healthy way, like in retrospect, that's what sucks, is I'll be honest, any number of those relationships are like so much healthier. Right, it wasn't like, but in a healthy way, like in retrospect, that's what sucks, is I'll be honest, any number of those relationships were like so much healthier, attracted than, you know, emotionally and physically with her. And so when, you know, the problem was, same friend group, you know what I mean? So our friend group is like, let's hang out again, and so we're both around each other a lot, and so, you know, it's just really difficult to kind of tell myself, like, no, our friend group is like, let's hang out again, right? And I was, I think deep down, I kind of was like, I'm not sure if this will pass. But the thing was, I really loved her, you know. So I knew. That's the thing. I guess. And I was. Like she was calling me almost every single day for like 6 straight months when I was in Dallas, and I was just like, you have to get help. I'm not kidding. I was like, I do care about you, but she would call me, and I'm like, every time she's like, hey, I'm gonna stop calling you. Like, kidding. I was like, I do care about you, but I'm actually gonna stop this time. And it's like, every time she's like, it's like, just speak up. It was actually really intense. I was like, I really unfriended, I'll be honest, in retrospect, I do not think that